Right. So as I said, my name is Louise. I'm the SEAI social media specialist. Um, I've been in SEAI for the past 6 years. So I've probably met lots of you at different events as well. And I've certainly seen all the lovely stuff that you're sharing online as well. So what we're just going to go through really quickly tonight so you can get back out into the sun is just a quick overview of SEAI social media accounts. We want to talk a little bit about the new SEC Facebook group, which is really exciting, and we can already see that it's loads of you have joined it, which we're delighted about. A little few tips just on how to get the most out of photography and video. This is for selfish reasons as well, so we can share all your lovely content. What kind of how we can support SECs on the kind of social media side as well. And then I'd love for you guys to share some of your ideas on how we can support you, anything you're looking for from me as well. And then we'll just do a quick Q&A. I talk really fast like Ruth as well, so we should be out of here in no time. So my role is social media specialist. So I manage all the social media accounts in SEAI. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. We also have a YouTube account. And we have a number of different Facebook groups as well. So we have over 80,000 followers, and that's growing every month, which is a good thing. I think a lot of people are really interacting with our content. We've recently just launched an Instagram page. We were a little bit late to it there in the last maybe 2 years, and that's really taken off now. And that's where we're seeing a lot of our content being really devoured over there, so which is a good thing. So what we're doing really, and like what my role is, I'm really committed to kind of sharing stories that inspire others to take climate action, and also to identify ways to promote the work that's being done by the different programs within SEAI. So I work really closely with the communities team. If they have anything to promote, like an upcoming event, if they really want to talk about something that a community is doing within the SEC network, I work with the research team, with our grants teams, our electric vehicles teams, and we kind of come up with different ways to promote their programs. So it's always really busy, and there's so many hands and moving parts. But it's really exciting, and I think it's really taken off now, and I think people are really starting to see the value as well of what social media can do within SEI, which is really good. I think in the past, one of the ways that we really used social media was just to promote upcoming events and kind of key information for the public, but now we're really using it as a way, as I said, to share those stories that inspire people to actually take action. So I just wanted to touch on briefly the new Sustainable Energy Communities Facebook group. We already had a Facebook group, and it's called Your Energy Matters, and that's for the public. So we started it a number of years ago. It has, I think, about 2,000 or 3,000 followers on it now, or members. And it's been really successful. If someone has a question about, oh, I'm really interested in getting solar PV, or I'm interested in switching to an electric vehicle, they put their question in there, and lots of people then will get back to them and share their advice with them. It's really popular, and it kind of goes through peaks and troughs, you know yourself, different times of the year. It gets really popular, especially when people are thinking maybe about insulating their houses, but it's always there for people to use. And we find it a really great resource for people. We've had really good feedback on it. So I was chatting with the Sustainable Energy Communities team, Ruth and Avril and Susan and everyone on the team, and we were trying to find a way for sustainable energy communities to come together kind of without us. I suppose we'll be in the room, but we're really taking a step back. It's not going to be us posting the content in there. It's going to be led by you guys. And there's no limit on really the conversations or the topics that you can start in there. Obviously, keep it positive and keep it, there's rules that you have to follow. But other than that, we're really not going to be infiltrating the content that you guys are sharing. It's a private space for members to collaborate, to share ideas, swap learnings. What you need to do is just search the SEAI Sustainable Energy Communities on Facebook. You can actually access it through the SEI Facebook as well. And then you just request to join it. You can put in what SEC you're in. You don't have to though. And you can join and then just start chatting really. That's what we want people to get out of it, is to have conversations with each other, maybe share ideas on what a certain SEC is doing, or what you think your SEC is doing really well that might work for another community down the country. We want you to share your events that are upcoming, initiatives, community news, or just pose a question and ask for ideas and help. The way these Facebook groups work is that if you're a member of it, it will prioritize the content that's coming up, and it's likely that if you're a member of it, you're going to see the content. So it's kind of, if you're on Facebook, that is, obviously if you don't check Facebook, you haven't a hope. But if you're on it and you're active on it, I think you'll get a lot of value out of it. Ruth, is there anything you kind of have you been like, just anything you wanted to say on the Facebook group or anything, or any kind of topics that you think would be good in there, or what you'd like to see out of it?
I think we'd love to see some of the thoughts around the upcoming Energy Awards and the ideas that communities have since they were just launched. So it'd be great just to get some thoughts that communities might have, or to maybe ask a few questions, or we can share some of the previous winners as suggestions in that. So if that starts a little bit of a chat, or people want to steer or any advice on that, we'd be delighted to step in and help out.
That's a great idea. Yeah, really good. So obviously the SEI Energy Awards has just launched. We might just ask Ruth a little bit later on just to share some of her tips and advice on this year's awards. It's a little bit different for communities. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. But that's the SEC Facebook group. We really hope that there's 76 members already joined. It's only just launched this month. There's already lots of content and lots of conversations happening in there. So I think it's going to be really valuable. Also, just to say as well, it's not just for, I think we have, how many groups do we have now, Ruth?
We have just over 750. So we've already seen 55 join this year. So well ahead of target. So interest is definitely out there. So it's fantastic to have you all on board.
Yeah. And it's not just for, I suppose, the leader of the group or anything. It's if you're a member, you can send it out to your members, send it out to your community. They're all welcome to join as well and see what's going on. So just a quick little guide just to create, some advice that I've or some tips that I've picked up over the last number of years on how to create the best social media content. So I think really you need to ask yourself if your content is eye-catching. If it's valuable and interesting or useful or educational to your audience. I think very often we think of social media as something that just needs to be ticked off as, okay, we're doing this event tonight. We're going to take a picture of the event and then we're going to post it to let everyone know that we had an event. That's something that we see a lot. It's something we used to do ourselves, but we're trying to kind of steer away from. We want, I suppose, posts and photographs and videos that actually tell a story. So I suppose, just say for an event, this is one thing that we do notice a lot, and it happens everywhere. We've definitely done it as well. It's if you're having an event, maybe it's on in the local community hall, and it's just, I suppose, you're putting up a picture on Twitter or on Instagram, and it's of a presentation in the background. Maybe the lighting isn't great. There's nothing particularly engaging. You can't see what's happening really in the hall. It's just a picture of a presentation in the distance. It's often blurry. So I suppose we're trying to kind of steer people away from kind of putting up that kind of content, because really for anyone who wasn't in the hall, who wasn't there on the night, that content isn't going to be of much use to them. What we're trying to get people to do instead is to really consider what content would best represent maybe how successful your event was, like what were the key takeaways from the event. Would a short video best capture maybe the buzz of the event instead of just that little picture of the presentation or someone giving a presentation? Often when we're taking pictures of events, the lighting is particularly bad in these rooms. They're maybe not the most attractive rooms to begin with. And maybe it might be nicer to maybe take an action shot of someone who's having a chat with someone, or maybe get everyone to stand outside and show your community. Just, take them outside, get some light in the event as well, and just maybe think about what would be a really creative photograph to showcase your event. So then as well, just wider than that, we're as I said, we're encouraging people to use high quality photographs and videos where possible. To post consistently and often. That's the key to really growing your account and getting as many people to see your content. Instagram and Twitter, they don't like it when people only post every once and so often. They won't prioritize your content. The algorithm will punish you for not posting as often as other people are. So decide what's suitable for yourself. I know that lots of people are running these accounts and it's something they're doing extra. You're obviously not getting paid for it. It's something that you're doing as a passion project, and you have so many different things to juggle that social media is often the last thing that you want to think about. But if you consider just maybe it's once a week that you're going to post to begin with, or twice a month, and you think about what you're going to post, it'll actually kind of become easier for you. Maybe even set up a little calendar around, okay, we're going to post about, just say if it's January, it's going to be how to save money maybe, or there's an event upcoming, you're going to post about that, and maybe it's tidy towns, maybe it's something to do with insulation, whatever it is, you could come up with a little calendar for yourself and then commit to posting. Maybe, as I said, it's twice monthly or once a week, whatever you feel you can get away with. There's lots of free editing tools out there to make your content really stand out. I use Canva. I also use Photoshop, but not everybody has Photoshop. You can use Canva just to kind of go in and add text overlays to your content, which can make it really eye-catching. You can put in different filters. You can use templates in there as well, so they'll actually help make your content look a bit more professional. And actually, if anyone wants to pop in, if anyone's using any other apps or anything, or any other free editing tools for your content, you can pop it into the chat as well and share it with everyone. Or as I said, if you have any tips or anything that you do that you think would work well for other people, because this is all about, I think, sharing with everyone and helping everyone along. I think as well what's really important, especially for this Sustainable Energy Communities group, is to remind your audience what makes your community so special. Ruth and the team are always sharing with me the kind of amazing things that are going on, what your guys are doing. And then I think sometimes we don't really hear about it. It's something that you just do in the background. Maybe you don't boast about it enough. So do remind your audience what makes your community so special. So maybe it's a project that you guys have worked on, or it's something unique about your community. Maybe it's a special person who's so committed to it. Take a photograph of them if they want you to, obviously, and post that about them. Every community has something different that makes them special or unique. And I think that's really what we'd love to get across in the SEC content. So then just some tips on photography, and I'm sure any of my family would say that I'm not the best photographer, but we did a really good course a few years ago in SAI, and hopefully I might actually be able to dig out some of the presentation and send it around afterwards to you. It was a smartphone photography course, and it was really good. It was run by this guy. I'll find the name and I'll share it with you after. But it was just some tips on how to make, like, everyone just has a smartphone. I don't even use a camera anymore. It was left in the office during COVID and we've never really used it since. We're now just using our smartphones. Something really simple that you guys can do is, and feel free to say if you're already doing this, is just to switch on grids on your photographs. So you just go into settings, then into photos and camera, and switch on grids. So that will kind of help you balance your shot. So it kind of, you can see in that image there's like the rocks in the background, there's the tide coming in. If along the grids, your focal points should intersect in the grids. So it's kind of the rule of threes. And also within that as well, it's kind of, don't be afraid of, like, your whole image doesn't have to be filled with, whether it's people, or it doesn't have to be filled. Don't be afraid of blank space within that. So I think if you kind of use the grid, and the more you use it, you kind of, when you're looking at it, you can kind of see, okay, this image is actually, it's quite interesting. It's easy to digest. It's more visually pleasing. It's something that I try to do anyway. And I've some examples later on that I can show you as well. So as I was saying there a while ago as well, use natural light and avoid the flash where possible. Images with flash rarely look good. I don't know. I think photographers only use flash during the day and try to avoid it at night. So you're trying to use natural light where possible, or whether it's whether it's a lamp or something that's in the room. Ruth, you've been to so many community halls, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, the photograph quality doesn't come out good. I've just accepted it now when I see the pictures later on. And it is lovely to capture the moment in time and share it with the community. But certainly a few weeks back, when you look back on it, it's hard to remember which hall that was or what made that event so special.
Yeah, definitely. So another tip then is to focus on one subject. I think sometimes, especially for an event, people try to take in the whole room, but maybe it's just focusing on a stand that's in the room, or it's focusing on one particular person that's sitting there looking really interested. So it's just to think, maybe not to focus in on the whole room, but focus in a small area can make it look a little bit better. Focus then, or don't zoom in where possible. I know it's really hard, but if you are taking a picture of a presentation or someone giving a presentation, go up to the top of the room. I know it's hard to do. I've had to do it multiple times, and you have to stand there and take a picture. But the closer you are, the better your photograph will look. For events as well, capture candid photos. Again, I think we've all been captured at an event. We're like, why did someone take that picture of me? But if you take a candid photo, it can look more interesting and it'll do better on your Instagram and it'll perform better. And then another tip then as well is just don't be afraid to edit. Play around with your phone's built-in app and you can kind of make the photo look better. You can crop it, you can put a filter on it, you can brighten it, you can darken it, you can, you know, contrast it as well. So like it doesn't have to just be the photo that you take. I mean, the phones nowadays can make them look so much better. Yeah, so that's photography. Again, pop in your tips. I'm sure some of you are way better photographers than me. So then something that we are really trying to do a lot more of is short videos and reels. And I think this applies to the events as well that we were just talking about. Instead of just taking a picture or a photograph of that room, maybe go up to the speaker and ask them to do a short 30-second video on, you just use it on your camera, take the video of them, maybe ask them a question. If they're an expert on something, ask them a particular question. This is Brian, he works with us in SEI. I don't know if some of you might be familiar with him. We got him to record just asking some questions about heat pumps. And this one was, you know, are heat pumps efficient? Are they cheaper to run? And then he just answers the question. They perform really well. They're really informative. They're answering a question that people are asking all the time. So it's useful content and it's valuable to people that are following you. So videos, reels, YouTube shorts are the best way to build and engage your followers. I think that basically Instagram, the algorithm will prioritize video over photos now. Remember years ago, we used to all see the lovely photographs. We'd all put up one photo and it like would get 10 likes and we'd be delighted. But now it's all about the reels and it's all about creating short videos. They don't have to be super professional. I think you can get away with just creating a little video. Instagram will let you add music, it will let you add text overlay, it will add subtitles for you. It's just play around with it. It's really easy to use. And then another tip just from our point of view as well is to tag your reels with relevant tags. So sorry, I'm in Phibsborough. So if I was posting about a sustainable energy community event that had happened in Phibsborough, I'd be tagging Phibsborough, Dublin 7. I'd also be tagging Home Energy Grants and SEI communities as well. So anything relevant, tag it. Tag your area, tag. It's basically to think about what people will be searching. And if they do stumble across your content, that they're going to find it useful and they might share it, they might follow your account then as well. And then also, we've already talked about this really, but consider the best format for your content. Is it a photo or should it be a video? What's going to work best for you? You might be able to take a series of short photographs if you're out and about. Maybe it's a lovely day and you want to capture some beautiful photographs of your community hard at work. For videos then as well, so keep them short. I think in the past, a lot of us tried to create videos that were maybe 3 or 4 minutes long, maybe even longer. We definitely did it a couple of years ago as well. And now for social media, we're trying to keep them under 30 seconds, definitely under a minute. People's attention span is so poor now that nobody, they want to hook them in at the start. So like that video there with Brian, we're including the question at the very start, we're hooking people in by saying, are heat pumps more expensive to run? And people are then interested in finding out the answer. So consider a hook, maybe if it's an expert that you're talking to at an event that you're running, just ask them a question. I don't know, an advice on what would your advice be for people to cut down their bills maybe, and then that person answers the question. And maybe that's just a video for your social then. So for film as well, just consider lighting and background. So where are you filming the video? Again, not to really be down on the town hall, but maybe stand outside. If you, like, every community has all these beautiful spaces in their community, maybe consider just walking outside for a few minutes and filming your video out there. There's loads of great free video editing apps. You don't have to spend money on these things. So you could use something like InShot. That's one that you can download. You can also use free built-in Google app photo tools to create slideshows. So that's something that works really well. Also is just to create videos out of your photographs. So maybe you're not a videographer, but you might have 5 or 6 different videos that photos that you turn into a video, and you can share those as well, and they'll perform better than a single image as well. Sorry, I'm probably flying through this now, but so I just wanted to share some inspiration. So Ruth, you introduced me to, and forgive me, I don't know her real name, but I know she works with Codema, so Green Gal.
She does indeed.
Yeah.
She's Shannon, yeah.
Yeah, Shannon. Shannon is creating amazing content over on Instagram and on TikTok as well. We're not allowed to be on TikTok anymore in the public sector due to the security risks. But she's creating incredible content that is being viewed millions of times on TikTok. And also, like, I think this was viewed maybe 30, 40,000 times on Instagram as well. So it's just a really simple video that she's created talking about the energy monitors that come as part of the home energy saving kits that you can pick up in your library. It's something that it's really simple, but loads of people responded to it. And you can see all the different kind of hashtags she used there as well to kind of help it along. Because I think at the start, she's only recently launched this account and she wouldn't have had a huge number of followers, but this has been viewed, I think it's 30,000 times on Instagram, which is really impressive. So you can just see all the different hashtags she's used there, like home energy savings, which is obviously a really important kind of a really popular hashtag at the moment. Everyone's trying to cut down on their energy. So a lot of people would have been maybe searching for that and come across this video and found it really useful. Another one there, home energy efficiency, save money, energy bills, another one as well. So just think about, for something like this, it can be something really simple, just a little bit of advice for your community on how they can save energy, and then use some of the hashtags, create a little video, and yeah.
I think she got
It's really
5
simple
million
to do.
hits for the bleeding the radiator one.
Yes,
Which was a
yeah, was
really
that
short
the
one.
one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That
And
was
that
the
was
one that got
on
the millions.
TikTok. Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
So
yeah,
this
yeah,
one I
yeah.
think is also gone really viral as well. This is just an example as well. This is just Greystone Tidy Towns Instagram account. You can just see how visually appealing it is as well when you just, this is their Instagram grid. So when you log in, you can really kind of just see it's really colourful. They have the top one there. I couldn't figure out how to put in videos and actually play them all, but I'll send around the links afterwards. This is just a little video of one of the days that they spent cleaning up their community. They have loads of just like really engaging content, loads of advice and like little tips on different plants to plant and all that kind of stuff. I know it's obviously really, it's easier when you're tidy towns and everything can look really pretty, but some of their content you might just have a little look and see, it might give you some inspiration. So this is just another thing I was talking about earlier. So this is Electric Ireland Super Homes. And we can see that if you applied the grid to this image, we have this lovely lady standing in the front of it, and then we have the retrofitted home in the background. So it just creates this really, it draws the eye, first of all, to the lovely lady in the green suit. And then in the background, you can see the really nice house as well. So it's just a very visually, it's not too busy, but it just captures, you'd stop and have a look at it if you're scrolling. This is from Stoneybatter Pop. So this is just to promote an event, which was basically to encourage playing in the streets for children and how Stoneybatter could facilitate that for kids and make it more safer. But you can just see that it's really simple way to promote their event. It's not like a lot of text or anything. There's got the kind of really eye-catching Stoneybatter houses that are really familiar to everyone, and then just a little bit about where the event is along the top, and then what the event name is, so D7 Play Streets, and then they even have a little hashtag along the side. So I think sometimes we see kind of maybe posters or something like that that have been created, and they're really quite busy, and a lot of the times maybe there's a lot of information on the poster. Don't be afraid to just have it something really simple like that, and then put all your content into the actual text, the body of the post. You can put in all the information you want to put in there, but when you're posting an image, what you really want to do is to stop people in their tracks. Sometimes with an overabundance of information, people can kind of just be tempted to go, that's kind of an eyesore, and move on. So something like that is really simple to do, and you can just use something like Canva to create it. So this is inspiration from Rosanna Purcell. She posts amazing videos that I know are probably beyond lots of us, but this one was just about recycling. It's a really simple video about which bin does this go in, and I think it's had hundreds of thousands of views as well. So just a little idea for content, and that's really simple to create as well. She's just standing in front of a camera, and then there's just a little bit of text overlay on it as well. So then I just wanted to briefly touch on as well, before we go to questions, just how SEI can support SECs to kind of get the word out about what they're doing. As I said, Ruth is always telling us about the amazing things that you guys are doing. So to help facilitate how we can support you, always tag the SAI accounts in your posts. So if it's on Twitter, I can include these anyway afterwards. I'm sure you'll be familiar with them anyway. It's the @SAI_IE on Twitter. I think it's the same on Instagram. And then I think it's just @SAI on Facebook. So always tag us in, and where possible, we will share your posts. I try to share as many as possible. You always use the SAI communities hashtag as well. We're hoping that the more people that use it, the easier it will be for people to find your content as well. So the format for it is hashtag SAI communities. It also pulls it through to the communities section on the website as well. So if anyone is looking at SAI communities, they'll see your content if we've reshared it as well. So my name, as I said, is Louise. So do get in touch with me as well if there's like an event, or maybe it's a video that you guys have created or something that's happening in your community and you'd like our help with promoting it. You can just send me an email. It's louise.ryan@sai.ie, and I'll do my very, very best to help you promote it, because that's what we're here for. And also just give us plenty of notice as well for sharing any upcoming events, just in case that I'm out or something, or I can't share that particular week. Ideally, if you have an event coming up, you should really be sending it on to us maybe 2 weeks in advance, and then that'll give me plenty of time to share it and kind of get a little bit of noise out about there. We also send out e-zines as well. So they're to our community network, but we also have a citizens e-zine as well with about 15,000 followers on it. And it's got a really good open rate. So if there was anything maybe that you wanted us to share about an upcoming SCC event, we can see would it fit in there as well. So do get in touch with me, and I'd be happy to have a chat with you and help you in any way I can. So we're also always looking for really good ideas for blogs and case studies and videos to share. We have a content creation team as well. So they're always looking for videos to produce. So if there was something that you thought would work really well, we're always going to Ruth and asking her, but it'd be great, I suppose, if we could hear about them as well. And Ruth doesn't, we're always not pestering Ruth about it. So do share it with me, and I'll pass it on as well. And we can look at maybe whether it could just be me going out to video it, or we might decide that this is a really good story. We might put a professional videographer behind it as well. So if that's something you're interested in, do get in touch with me as well, because yeah, the more stories we get, the easier my job is anyway. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to turn it over to you now to see if there's any way that we can support you guys